Hello. What are the factors that we need to be very careful about when we set up a BPM initiative? Now, a couple of years ago, we have done a systematic review of the state-of-the-art research on this topic and come up with a synthesized list of critical success factors. In this video, I'll briefly mention about two of them and then refer you to the additional reading material. Okay? Then let's start. Let's see about the critical success factors that we have identified based on the literature, critical success factors of CFCs of BPM. Now, this is the list, 14, the highly cited, the most relevant ones that we know that would definitely have a big influence on the success of any BPM initiative. This is the list. So in the reading material, as I said, you would see more information about each one of them, but I'll focus on the top two factors: change management and communication, and management commitment and involvement, as these are the most relevant, most commonly cited ones. So at the very first video, the first media module of this lecture, you might remember that I started with the following statement. I said, many business practitioners and experts consider that organization change management and related people factors are one of the most important parts of any BPM initiative. Okay? It is basically easier to talk about BPM methods and related technology, but very difficult to manage the change and people issues. And that is the reason why people basically go with this easy part of this challenge and research more in the methods and technology. As much as we need them, basically there's no method or technology that is a silver bullet that would alone bring success to any BPM initiative. So communication, management, acceptance and involvement, handling resistant project management, strategic alignment, governance issues are all prerequisites to success in BPM. And change management and communication is basically the top one. So BPM is often part of a business transformation, or basically the transformation itself. Okay, so don't expect any benefit if those who need to change are not informed about it, or not involved in, or not accepting the changes that the organization is going through. What are the key actions that the organization should do to address this difficulty? We can talk about some good practices here. So first, you need to develop a plan for communication and change management. So it shouldn't be a kind of an ad hoc thing that you leave it to time. And then you need to align it with you need to align the communication basically with the BPM key phases starting from the very beginning. Any change should not come as a surprise to those people who will be influenced by this change, by all the stakeholders, I mean. So start communicating at the very beginning, at the beginning phases of like identification and discovery, not late in the implementation. Communicate the benefits of BPM, but also the drawbacks of the BPM, because there are. And you must do so across the company, and you also have to be very open and honest about these influences. So you need to demonstrate the results at regular review points, regularly, timely, let's say, particularly with those having concerns about how the new processes will impact their job. So basically keep people informed about what you're doing and why you're doing it. So it's a big change, and it should be planned and treated as a big change. Be careful with that. So let me show you a graph, and perhaps before that I need to talk about BP trends. There's an important association, or let's say practitioner-driven BPM forum that performs BPM surveys every 2 years. And this chart shows the data from its last survey in 2019. What it shows is that it depicts the top challenges that practitioners face when initiating BPM or when they set up a BPM initiative. I'll not read the results. You can pause the video and read it yourself. But what I'd like to stress here is the following. There's a single word here in this chart that finds its place in every challenge. Can you notice that? Have you? Look at that. So, in fact, management commitment is a critical success factor, or let's say the word management appears in all of them. And management commitment is #1 critical success factor in almost any kind of an organization-wide initiative, not just BPM. Right? If you're implementing an enterprise system, for instance, you would see the same success factor popping up as well. Management commitment, management involvement is the top success factor again for any kind of an organizational initiative, organization change, or an initiative that changes something in the organization, significant changes. So BPM initiative is an organizational change, and management commitment and involvement is simply showing some sort of leadership in initiating, in championing, in supporting that organizational change. If the management is not behind it explicitly, it's very likely that the initiative will fail. If this is not explicit, I mean, if there's a lack of visible management commitment, then you should also expect significant resistance to change at any level in the organization. And very importantly, management commitment is not just providing support or kind of being behind it. It's about being at the front, being there when important strategic decisions have to be made. Management commitment and involvement. So again, 14 critical success factors. We discussed about 2 of them. There's reading material, as I mentioned, but please remember essentially the BPM capability framework that I introduced in a prior video module. It incorporates 6 areas, and essentially these areas have been derived from the BPM success factors. I mean, they are there to address these success factors. It basically means if you would like to be successful in BPM initiatives, you have to possess some capabilities regarding methods and IT, strategic alignment, governance, and so on and so forth, culture and people. Again, you have to possess some capabilities regarding methods and IT, but success, but if you'd like to be successful, there are 4 areas that you should also excel. Strategic alignment, for instance, is there to make sure that you get a management commitment and involvement, essentially. Governance is there to address the need to have a proper governance mechanisms in the BPM initiatives. That's you know who should be responsible for the BPM initiatives, be responsible for collecting metrics and so on and so forth. Methods and technology is obviously indispensable, but you need to know how to deal with the you need to know how to deal with the processes, but people and culture areas are also indispensable. They are here in this particular framework to make sure that you manage the change properly, you prepare the organization for change, you endorse process thinking, you get the users and other stakeholders involved in your initiative. So, okay, I think I must admit that it's not easy to talk about these topics in this course, or in general in our department, because they all sound like blah blah to many people, particularly to those that are rather technical, and particularly to those who have not been actually involved in such initiatives in practice. So I understand the difficulty for those people as well. So it is difficult to, let's say, appreciate the topics before you actually find yourself challenged by them. But at least I'm pretty sure that you will all appreciate all what we have seen in these video series when you become a manager and when you really get involved in such a BPM initiative. So I hope you find these videos instructive, useful or helpful, and I wish you great success in your career. See you later.